I'd like to thank our sponsor for this episode, El Lagunero Restaurant and Bar. Craving the bold flavors of Mexicali and the freshness of the coast? Come experience El Lagunero Restaurant and Bar, the Imperial Valley's new destination for authentic Mexican dishes and fresh seafood. From shrimp cocktails and ceviche to sizzling plates and ice-cold drinks, every bite is homemade and full of flavor. They're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 460 Holt Avenue in Holtville, just a short drive away from anywhere in the valley. El Lagunero, fresh, flavorful, unforgettable. Call 760-756-3005 to order or to learn more. Now on with the show.
Welcome to All Is On with Bertie Allison. Hi, I am Bertie. Episode 18, The Neighborhood Arms Race, Lawn Decor as Modern Folk Art. There was a time when Halloween decorations amounted to one pumpkin on the stoop, perhaps two if your family liked to show off. The ambitious might attempt a triangle-eyed grimace with a butter knife, its teeth always more buck than menacing, while a single candle sputtered inside like a nervous heartbeat. That was enough. Neighbors admired your handiwork. Children admired your candy. And the pumpkin admired nothing because it was a pumpkin destined to wilt by Thursday. Then something happened. Somewhere between the advent of the store-bought plastic tombstone and the first nylon inflatable ghost, the modest house front display evolved. No, mutated into an elaborate theatrical production stage on suburban lawns everywhere. Today, Halloween decor isn't mere ornamentation. It is competitive performance art, disguised in polyester cobwebbing. Walk any neighborhood in late October, and you will find entire front yards transformed into ambitious interpretations of the underworld. Battalions of skeletons frozen mid-waltz, witches colluding over cauldrons with suspicious pyrotechnics, spectral brides hovering in the bushes, and mummified house pets poised like loyal gardens over the macabre. The visuals suggest the restless spirits have risen again, then immediately hired a choreographer. This is not decor, this is pageantry. People who can't assemble a bookshelf suddenly display a remarkable fluence in complex wiring, fog machines, and pulley systems that animate disembodied hands. The very neighbors who once borrowed your rake somehow possess the architectural vision to construct a walk-through mausoleum on their front lawn, complete with sound effects that suggest the deceased have strong opinions and no indoor voice. And there, at the center of it all, stands a modern lawn inflatable, the talisman of our era. 12 feet tall, self-inflating, and lit from within. It sways in the night breeze like a cheerful bouncer welcoming goblins and gourmands alike. One might ask, why this devotion? Why this expanse? Why must every cul-de-sac resemble a haunted opera set? Perhaps it's the primal joy of spectacle, mixed with the delightful anonymity of darkness. Perhaps it's the thrill of one-upping the Johnsons without resorting to new shingles or a boat. Or maybe, in a culture that rarely pauses its hustle, Halloween lawn decor has become a communal invitation to wonder. To say, look, neighbors, I have built for you a glowing skeleton horse, and I hope you feel alive. There is an undeniable camaraderie in it. On Halloween night, the pilgrims arrive in packs, marveling at each home's contribution to the grand boulevard of imagination. Children sprint from house to house, their laughter folding into the ambient shrieks of animatronic phantoms. For a few hours, the neighborhood becomes something larger than itself, Less a grid of unrelated dwellings, and more a midnight carnival curated by enthusiastic amateurs with ladders. Of course, as with any arms race, escalation is inevitable. What begins with a few tasteful lanterns ends several Octobers later in the purchase of a towering skeleton whose head peers into the upstairs windows of startled neighbors. These displays grow not because they must, but because possibility is a monstrous seducer. The decor is never done. There is always room for one more light strand, one more ghost, one more unhinged jack-o'-lantern. Eventually, November 1st arrives, and dawn breaks over lawns littered with deflated nylon corpses. The ghouls are reduced to wrinkled heaps, like the discard costumes of spirits too weary to haunt. And yet, the neighbors awaken with an unmistakable sense of triumph. The great pageant has concluded. The crowds have dispersed, and the stage will soon be struck. But next year, they will return, taller, brighter, and louder. Because Halloween in its modern incarnation is not simply a holiday, it's the last accessible folk art movement in America. Free to attend, easy to enter, wildly ambitious, occasionally absurd, and always sincere. A moment when ordinary citizens create extraordinary worlds on plots of grass, not for fame or profit, but for the simple reward of delight. And really, what better reason is there to raise the dead on a Friday? Follow us on Facebook and our YouTube channel. All is on with Bertie Allison. Thank you for listening.
Good job, Mom. Today's episode is brought to you by El Lagunero Restaurant and Bar, serving up authentic Mexican seafood for the entire Imperial Valley. Visit them at 460 Holt Avenue or call 760-756-3005. El Lagunero, fresh seafood, hometown flavor. Good job, Bob.
The great pageant has concluded. The crabs have dispersed, and the stage will soon be struck.
Okay, can you take from the great pageant has concluded? Not the crabs, but the crowds.
Oh.